A silver fog curled along the mossy ground as Arin darted through the ancient oaks of Solstaran forest. Their heart hammered in time with their footsteps, the chill of the coming night biting through their cloak. Tonight, the Moonlit Vale would awaken, a legend told in whispers and half-remembered lullabies, now pulsing at the edge of reality. In their satchel, nestled among twisted roots and crimson petals, lay a scrap of battered parchment. Its edges were burned, its text half lost to time, but Arin made out one line again and again. When the veil glows pure, the gates will open wide, separate worlds drawn close by the moon's tide. They stopped at the felled tree that marked the border of their village and squinted through the gloom. There in the clearing lay the veil, shimmering alive with ghostly light, delicate as spun glass. A scatter of soft blue fireflies danced in the veil's embrace. But something was wrong. Shadows twisted and pulsed on the edge, shapes with too many eyes and claws, pressing close to the pale barrier. Arin's breath fogged as they crouched, wishing Lyra, their mentor, was here. But Lyra lay gravely ill back in the cottage, struck by the very sickness that had first led Arin to these woods searching for moonblossom, a flower that only bloomed in the veil's glow. There was no choice but to enter. "Lost, are we?" The voice startled Arin. They whirled, their hands sliding to the dagger at their belt. A man stepped from the shadows, his robes patched with stitched runes, his eyes too bright for someone used to darkness. Drystan, the forbidden mage. Villagers spoke of his dangerous works, but his name had appeared alongside the veil in countless old tales. "I need your help," Arin said, forcing their voice steady. "The veil, it isn't supposed to look like this. My family's history speaks of a seal. Something's broken." Drystan's gaze flicked to the flickering boundaries. "So you've read the old lines. Few remember them. The worlds are bleeding together, young herbalist. And when they finish, there'll be no Solstaran left, just endless moonlit fever dreams." Arin bit back fear. "Can it be fixed?" "If you're brave enough to find the old paths, and if you trust me." A long silence stretched between them. Then Arin nodded. Above, the moon blazed full, and the veil's whispering threshold opened, beckoning them both inside. Moonlight spilled like liquid silver as Arin stepped through the veil. The air shimmered, scents of wild mint and dew blossoms filled their senses, oddly soothing. Behind, Drystan followed with the silent grace of a shadow cast by moving water. The veil hummed, a different world beneath the moon. Trees twisted into impossible patterns, and paths unraveled and rewove themselves, as if testing the newcomer's resolve. "Stay beside me," Drystan murmured, voice low but commanding. "The veil has a mind of its own, and not a gentle one." They pressed on, brambles parting for Drystan's gentle touch, while Arin listened for phantom footsteps. A distant howl drifted from the endless blue-lit undergrowth, sharp as broken glass. Every sense screamed to turn back, but the memory of Lyra's pale face, the village's creeping sickness, forced their feet forward. Suddenly, a fox darted into their path, but its eyes flashed cold mercury, and it moved with an awkward, too human intelligence. It sniffed Arin's hand, then sat, head cocked, as if waiting for something. "Don't trust the pretty ones," Drystan warned. "That's no ordinary beast." Arin knelt, risking curiosity. Can you help us?" The fox blinked and spoke in a voice full of leaves and wind. "The keepsake you seek lies where moon roots coil around the heart of old sorrow. But beware, night maws walk that path tonight." The creature vanished before Arin could ask more. Drystan exhaled, eyes wary. "Moon roots. The first gate, they grow by tears and by regrets. If you have ghosts, the path will show them." Gulping, Arin started forward. Shadows lengthened, twisted faces flickered in the periphery, fragments of guilt and longing. Tears sprang unbidden as the moonroots shimmered in the gloom, bright as captured lightning. Every step pressed a memory from Arin's heart. Lost friends, bitter family partings, their parents' voices fading on a stormy night. Suddenly, brush cracked to their left, something immense and hissing. Drystan readied a ball of flickering light, voice hissing, "Behind me, Arin!" Just as a monstrous wolf-like shadow lunged from the brush, eyes blazing, fangs slick with midnight frost, Arin realized this was no memory, but a guardian of the veil, hungry for trespassers. Heart-pounding, Arin wondered. To survive, what weakness would they need to overcome in themselves? And what exactly had Drystan been hiding about his knowledge of the forbidden arts? The beast's eyes glowed like coals in the moonlit gloom. Arin froze, their trembling making every shadow seem larger. Drystan put himself between Arin and the wolf creature, runes dancing up his arms. He muttered something in an old tongue, the words thick with power and sadness. The wolf snapped its jaws, growling, a sound too ancient to belong to flesh. Its breath clouded the air. Drystan's spell burst forth, weaving threads of silver light around its neck, but the creature only roared, shaking off the magic like so much ash. "It's feeding off our fear," Drystan shouted. "You must not let your regret rule you. Remember why you entered the Vale. Anchor yourself." Arin squeezed their eyes shut, clutching the moon blossom pouch Lyra had sewn for luck. Into the swirl of terror, they forced the image of Lyra's smile, the warmth of the villagers' laughter, the hope of restoring Solstaran. Their regret dimmed, replaced by a deep spark of purpose. Suddenly, the wolf faltered, its form blurred, shrinking until it became just a lost, ghostly hound, sitting, watching them, tongue lolling sorrowfully, or knelt before the fading guardian, voice shaking but strong. "I'm sorry for what you lost." The ghost dog gazed up with mournful eyes. Mist pooled around its paws. As Arin offered a comforting hand, a shimmering lock of moonroot unfurled from the soil, surrounding both Arin and Drystan. A gate of light sprung open, framed by crisscrossing roots and silver flowers. Drystan pressed a hand to Arin's shoulder. "You did what magic couldn't. You'll need that kind of courage again." The respect in his tone was new and genuine. On the other side of the root gate, the world shimmered. Trees bowed in greeting, ethereal lights spun overhead. Fey laughter echoed, distant but inviting. But deeper in the woods, a low thrumming grew louder, pulse-like and ominous. "Through here lies the heart of the Vale," Drystan said quietly, "and the true beginning of our test." Their journey had only begun, but Arin's heart thudded with something unfamiliar. Hope. As Arin and Drystan crossed beneath the arch of moonroots, the world shifted. The air smelled less like home and more electric. Strange blossoms unfurled with every step, petals humming softly as if sharing secrets in another tongue. The pulsing grew louder, like a heartbeat beneath their feet. "Watch closely," Drystan whispered. "The Fae don't show themselves unless you notice them first." A will-o'-the-wisp darted above their heads, casting blue shadows. Suddenly, laughter, bright metallic, danced across the glade. Flickering forms spun among the trees, Fae, tall and thin as willow reeds, eyes glinting like gemstones. Their clothes seemed woven from mist and moonlight. One Fae, a woman crowned in dew, bowed. "Welcome, travelers. Tell us, why do you walk our haunted halls?" Arin straightened, remembering Lyra's advice, always be honest with the Fae and never promise what you can't give. "We seek to mend the fraying veil," Arin said, "to save my home and yours." The Fae stared. Then the crowned woman sighed, her worry plain. "The old pacts are breaking. Our worlds will both fall if the cataclysm comes, but the paths are guarded by powers that despise all trespassers, especially those with human blood." Drystan stepped forward, voice calm. "We know. Will you help us?" The Fae exchanged looks, whispers like wind through reeds. "There are 3 keys to reach the heart," the Fae Queen replied. "One of courage, which you have shown. One of sacrifice. One of memory. First, cross the mire of forgotten promises. Only those with honest hearts survive its lies." Drystan's jaw tightened. He muttered to Arin, "The mire tests you with visions. You'll see every promise you've broken or wished you made." Arin felt a cold dread creep across their spine, but nodded. "Let's go. I will not leave Solstaran to ruin." The Fae bowed again, and a path of pale lily pads unfurled across a pond shrouded in silver mist. The mire awaited, silent and watchful. As they stepped forward, the world melted into memory and shadows, faces from their past rising in the gloom, each whispering Arin's secret doubts. They steeled themselves, knowing now what was at risk, and that only by facing every regret and every forgotten oath could they hope to find the key, not only to the Vale, but to their own heart. The surface of the mire rippled, reflecting not the sky, but memories. Arin's foot barely touched the first lily pad when the world tilted. Mist spun around them, dense, dreamlike. Shapes shimmered, whispering. Drystan's cloak swirled as he followed. "Keep your mind tethered. The mire feeds on wishes and remorse." A face floated from the mist. It was Marin, Arin's childhood friend, her eyes sad and accusing. "You promised you'd help me rebuild my cottage after the fire, but you left for the city instead." Guilt stabbed through Arin. "I know," they whispered. "I was afraid of what I couldn't fix. I'm sorry." Marin melted into haze, her forgiveness warm in the air. Another vision rose. Arin's mother, weary, cradling a sickly child. "You vowed to protect us from the darkness, Arin. Did you try hard enough?" Tears welled, but Arin stood taller. "I failed, but I'm here now. I won't run anymore." Beside them, Drystan's face paled. Shadows from his own past wrapped him tight, pulling him toward the water. He staggered, eyes wild. "Arin, stop them! Don't let them take me!" Arin reached out, grabbing Drystan's wrist. "You're not alone. We're stronger together." With a gasp, Drystan blinked, shadows falling away. His reluctant gratitude showed in his trembling smile. The mist broke. There, half sunk in the mire, gleamed a silver ring, etched with runes, pulsing with gentle power. "The key of sacrifice," Drystan said quietly, "only granted when truth outweighs regret." Arin took the ring, a soft ache in their chest. They'd earned the second key, but their hearts felt heavier with every trial. As the mist peeled away, the appeared again upon the far shore, their eyes solemn. "Few cross the mire unbroken," the queen intoned. "One key remains, the key of memory. It lies within the deepest grove, where time folds and wanders. But beware what you uncover. A forgotten truth can bite." Arin met Drystan's gaze, confidence sharpening beneath exhaustion. Whatever waited in the ancient grove, it would not be faced alone. The path to the grove grew wild and tangled, roots gripping at Arin's boots, while Drystan's staff glimmered faintly at every step. Sunlight was banished, replaced by a shifting tapestry of moonbeams that wove through mist and shadow. With the second key secure, the air grew heavier, as if each memory in the forest pressed close, whispering its secrets. They crossed beneath a crooked arch of silver birch. Instantly the world folded, dozens of glimmering visions flashing past. One moment, Arin was in their childhood kitchen. The next, standing over Lyra's sickbed, then cradling a red, sunburnt toadstool in the forest, learning which plants healed and which hurt. "Focus," whispered Drystan, clutching his key as memories tugged at him too. "The grove's magic wants you to forget why you came. It will offer comfort or pain to keep you here." Shapes shifted ahead. A little girl with Arin's eyes, a boy clutching Drystan's tattered spellbook. The memories weren't just visions, they were living echoes with desires of their own. As Arin reached for the girl, she grasped Arin's fingers, eyes widening in alarm. "You can't change what happened," the memory pleaded. "Stay. Be safe with us." Arin's hand hovered, heart aching. "I wish I could, but I still have to try. I can't undo the past, but I can save the future." The child's grip faded, her smile turned bittersweet. Then she vanished into the mist. Across the way, Drystan stood, breathing hard, having resisted his own hauntings. They pressed deeper into the grove. There, on a pedestal of tangled ivy, lay a third key, an hourglass, moon dust swirling inside. As Arin reached for it, the grove trembled, shadows lengthening, a voice echoing overhead, low and ancient. "Memory is the weight that shapes the world. Will you carry it even when it hurts?" "I will," said Arin, voice steady despite a quiver in their soul. At that, the hourglass pulsed, then shrank to a pendant, warm against Arin's skin. With all three keys, the path opened before them, roots retreating, moonlight blazing. At the grove's heart, a great obsidian arch waited, pulsing. The final gate. But as Arin drew close, the world flickered, and something monstrous stirred behind the arch, hungry and aware of their coming. Drystan squeezed Arin's shoulder. "The last trial looms. No more illusions, only what's truly at stake." Arin nodded, fear and hope warring in their chest. With the three keys and Drystan's trust, the hardest choices lay ahead, and the fate of all realms balanced on their courage. The obsidian arch loomed before them, veins of sapphire glimmering deep within its surface. The three keys pulsed in unison, ring, pendant, the streak of silver light that marked Drystan's palm. The ground thrummed beneath Arin's feet. An icy wind swept out from the archway, carrying with it 1,000 lost voices. "All of Solstaran's futures hang on this," Drystan said, tightening his grip on his staff. "Are you ready?" Arin's reply was simple and clear. "No, and I think that's what makes me ready." Without another word, they moved together. The keys rose and spun, weaving ribbons of light that threaded through the arch, unlocking its ancient wards. As the gateway flared open, the world seemed to buckle. Through the arch, chaos reigned, a landscape that merged twisted pieces of every realm, forests growing upside down, rivers running with stars, cities fractured and spinning midair. But what caught Arin's gaze was the beast. It slouched in the shifting ruins, huge and jagged, eyes of burning amber and wings made from torn pages of memory. The Devourer, the thing hungry for the boundaries between worlds. Drystan's voice cracked like ice. We can't defeat it with force. Not possible. You must use the keys to reach the Heartstone. That alone can mend the veil. How do I get past that? Arin asked, staring at the Devourer's crushing claws. Distract it. Trust what you've gained. Arin sprinted across the fractured plain, every step echoing their fear and defiance. The Devourer's head snapped toward them. Memories from inside the veil, every failure, disappointment, and secret guilt, fell from its mouth as whispers, trying to drag Arin down. Drystan stood tall, shouting incantations, casting bursts of blinding light that flickered and tore. It was barely enough. Arin! Now! Gritting their teeth, Arin thrust the pendant forward. Memories, painful, beautiful, all blazed in their mind. You are not my enemy, Arin told the Devourer, voice loud and trembling. You are my fear, my regret, but I need not let you rule me. The beast faltered, confusion rippling across its monstrous eyes. Arin ran beneath its shadow into the core of Unmaking, searching wildly for the hidden Heartstone, hoping, praying all the while that they'd find it before the Devourer remembered its hunger. The fractured world burned with wild, broken magic. Stars spilled across the sky and twisted branches reached out with hands of shadow. Arin's heart pounded as they raced deeper, the Devourer's confusion fading, the beast's hunger awakening once more. Every step seemed a battle against despair. Memories, hopes, fears spun around them, some beautiful, others haunting. Drystan's spells shimmered like beacons behind Arin, distracting and delaying the Devourer. He called above the chaos, the Heartstone listens for truth, Arin. Speak what matters most. Ahead, at the center of an impossible hill that seemed to fold in on itself endlessly, a pillar of crystal rose from the tangled earth. The Heartstone, swirling with countless memories, threads of lives and choices shining inside. Its pulse beckoned. Arin climbed the spiraling ascent, the ground shifting underfoot, grief and hope vying for dominance in their chest. The beast roared, a sound of longing and endless hunger, its claws carving rifts in the air as it closed on Arin's position. The Heartstone flared, silencing everything. Arin placed the hourglass pendant against the crystal, and the world bent. Visions flooded, faces of every ancestor, scenes of the first veil, promises made long ago to keep the magic whole and safe. A voice inside, the voice of the veil itself, whispered, "To mend the breach, a choice must be made. Give up what you most fear to lose, or let the worlds unravel." Arin's mind raced. Lyra's face, the village, Drystan's wary hope. The Devourer pressed close, darkness bleeding from its wounds. "Give me what you dread, and I will leave you peace," it crooned, shimmering with Arin's worst memories. "My peace isn't worth more than my world," Arin whispered, tears streaming. "Let the pain stay, let it teach me, but let the veil endure." The Heartstone's light erupted, weaving around Arin and the creature, drawing sorrow and courage alike into a tapestry so radiant the air snapped and sang. The pillars splintered into a path of stars, leading to the rift at the veil's center. Behind, Drystan screamed a warning, the Devourer's final fury making the ground quake. Arin realized the journey wasn't over. To truly mend the boundary, they had to lead the Devourer through the star path, sacrificing their peace so that hope and memory could live. Hands shaking but spirit burning bright, Arin stepped forward, the beast lumbering after, as the future of Solstaran hung in the balance. Starlight spilled beneath Arin's feet as they walked the trembling path, the world around them pulsing with raw, unbound magic. Each step drew the Devourer closer, its voice threading through Arin's mind, a wild tangle of lost promises and vanished joy. Drystan's voice echoed faintly from behind, heavy with fear. "Don't look back, Arin. If you hesitate, the veil will never close." The faint outline of the rift shimmered ahead, a tear in the fabric of Solstaran and the hidden worlds beyond. Chaos radiated outward, warping trees and sky into whirls of dream and nightmare. It was beautiful and terrifying. "The end comes, little healer," the Devourer crooned, its bulk looming as it followed. "Abandon your pain, forget these fragile lives." Arin stopped at the rift's edge, breathing hard. Inside the swirling tear, fragments of every realm flashed by. Lyra's smile, the Fey Queen's sorrow, Drystan as a boy, clutching a broken wand, all at the mercy of the Devourer's hunger. Clutching the Heartstone pendant, Arin faced the beast. "You only have what I let you take. My regret, my hope, these belong to me and to Solstaran." The starlit path trembled as the Devourer lunged, wings spreading wide to blot out the moon. But Arin didn't waver. They raised the Heartstone high, letting all their memories, good and bad, blaze through the air. A shockwave rippled outward. The Devourer shrieked, its form splintering and shifting, snared by the flood of pure memory and intent. For a moment Arin saw, not a monster but a collection of fears, sorrows, and memories abandoned by generations. Genuinely, it was almost lonely. Drystan appeared at their side, battered but determined. "You have to offer it peace, Arin. Complete the bargain. Let the pain become promise." Arin nodded. Heart pounding, they stepped into the rift itself, the Devourer drawn in after them. The world around them came undone. Moments, people, laughter, all unraveling and swirling. Here, they had one chance to make their wish, to guide the pain of the worlds not into oblivion, but into a source of unity and hope. "Let this sorrow bind us," Arin whispered into the blinding light. "Let what was lost be what brings us together." The veil began to sing, its magic weaving new paths in every direction. The fate of Solstaran and the myriad worlds wasn't just about surviving chaos, it was about transforming it. Yet, with the rift closing fast and their own energy fading, Arin realized mending the worlds might cost more than they'd ever imagined. The story teetered on the thinnest edge, sacrifice or salvation, peace or oblivion, with only their heart to guide them as the final moments arrived. Light and shadow swirled in blinding spirals as Arin tumbled deeper into the rift, the Devourer beside them no longer monstrous, but shifting from shape to shape. A child lost, a parent grieving, an old healer reaching through the dark. The boundary between fear and hope blurred, and for a heartbeat, Arin hovered outside all time, all memory. Arin's voice was raw but unbroken. "You are every memory cast aside, every fear unspoken. I accept you, not to forget, but to heal." The Heartstone, the pendant flaring at their chest, drew in not just Arin's pain, but that of the Devourer, of Drystan, of the Fae, and every soul linked to the veil. Light flooded through the rift, touching every thread of every life. The Devourer's form shuddered, shrinking smaller and smaller, until it was a silver seed, trembling, then settling in Arin's palm. Echoes folded back, settling the broken chaos into something brighter. The star path mended, the veil whole again. Worlds touched but did not merge. In the new silence, Arin floated, spent but at peace. Then a hand gripped theirs. Drystan pulled them free of the rift's edge, voice shaking with relief and awe. "You really did." Around them, the veil shimmered, transformed. Crimson moon blossoms grew by the old paths, Fae and humans mingling, memories lingering gently instead of haunting. The Fae Queen bowed her head in deep gratitude. "You've woven our wounds into something new, something enduring. The worlds owe you their song." Arin stared at the silver seed in their palm. "What will this become?" Drystan smiled, genuine this time. "A reminder that healing comes not from forgetting our sorrow, but from understanding it. Keep it, Arin. Your pain and your bravery make everything possible." Lyra appeared, healthy once more, a smile gentle on her lips. Arin wept in her arms, not from grief, but from release. Around them, villagers and Fae celebrated beneath a canopy of joined magic. The Vale's night song rose, a tapestry of laughter, memory, hope. In the end, Arin was no longer just an underdog, no longer just the healer who had feared failing. They had chosen to face the darkness, to carry memory, and by doing so had changed Solstaran and themselves forever. The world and its old wounds would always carry shadows, but now moonlight shaped those shadows into new beginnings. And as the veil faded back into mist, Arin looked up at the reborn sky, heart alight with what they had learned. Even when the odds loom impossibly large, hope grows brightest in the places we dare to mend, not erase.